After 2 days of staying in the capital, it was time to go back home to Roxas City, Capiz. 15 minutes past the hour of 1 on March 8, 2024, we left our condotel located in the Bicutan district of Parañaque for the Centennial Terminal or Terminal 2 of Nichols International Airport, located in neighboring Pasay City. Now here's our terminal. Since July 1, 2023, the Centennial Terminal has been catering to the domestic flights of Philippine Airlines, Philippines AirAsia, and Royal Air Philippines. With South Wing houses the check-in of the latter two low-cost carriers, but that is not where we are heading. Rather, it is the North Wing, where all of PAL's domestic flights check-in are now based in. Now we are approaching the terminal's entrance. Of course, with me donning a PAL shirt, the guards and agents mistake me for being a PAL employee. Before December 2022, there was an initial X-ray at the foyer, but now these machines are gone and it looks spacious as ever. This terminal has grown more spacious ever since all PAL international flights moved to the Ninoy Aquino Terminal or Terminal 1 for short. More Filipino tropical vibes such as basketed chandeliers, rattan furniture, solihia or cane-weaved accents, and added foliage welcome us as we enter. However, during the time of filming, the airport garnered controversy because of bed bugs found in gang chairs as well as the rattan seats in this terminal. They were removed for cleansing and disinfection. With my aunts being senior citizens, we were ushered to the special counters, which were also for online check-in passengers. This is where we get our first taste of PAL's Buong Pusong Alaga. Not to mention that this check-in man here thought of me as a PAL employee. Nevertheless, he was among the most helpful and most hospitable of MacroAsia's team. With my boarding pass issued, it was time to check on my aunts, whom I have also checked in online. The process was fast and it was quick since we did not have check-in baggage. Here is some the Buong Pusong Alaga of PAL and MacroAsia given to my Aunt Ellie, a frequent flyer of PAL and elite member of the Mabuhay Miles. Man, I love this job. Should I apply even if I was not accepted in 2022? Now that check-in is complete, it was time to head to the security check for the gates. This section once hosted terminal fees and immigration counters that processed PAL's international passengers. Now that they have moved to the Ninoy Aquino Terminal, this place is way spacious than before. I profoundly apologize for all the wobbly camera since I cannot film the security check. Security checks completed, it was time to settle at our gate. With all of us seated, my aunts and Aling Gaga took care of one of my hand-carry baggage as they gave me the time and space needed to film this vlog. Let us take a tour of our terminal, shall we? Well, with Centennial Terminal transferred to an all-domestic terminal since July 1, 2023, you can now walk freely between the North Wing and South Wing portions. Back when international flights were here, the Centennial Terminal was crowded and chaotic as ever, with the South Wing being more of such, especially when part of it was used for international departures from mid-morning until midnight. Now those days are gone, it is less troublesome. However, expect both wings to be usually way crowded and chaotic during peak travel season, such as summer, with the most severe of all being Christmas and New Year. Now that we are in the South Wing, we see a little more PAL flights as we traverse. At the end of the South Wing are some AirAsia gates. Good to see the color red in the Centennial Terminal and AirAsia moving here from Terminal 4. Gives a good deal of better passenger comfort and more efficient check-in spaces, as well as adequate seating unlike Terminal 4. This AirAsia flight is going to some province in Mindanao, by the way. As I went back to my gate for some rest, I decided to check some operations at the airport. The gate next to us is a Cagayan de Oro bound PAL flight wherein I befriended some more MacroAsia personnel and staff.
Really appreciate it.
Sige po, ma'am. There you go.
Let's go buy some Krispy Kreme for my parents and house helpers in Roxas City. Now if you're wondering, this branch opens at 3 a.m. sharp. This assorted box will only cost you about 200 to 300 pesos plus if you have a PWD or senior citizen discount. And with the purchase done, it's time to head back to the North Wing to await our flight boarding announcement.
We are just waiting for a flight to Roxas, and as you notice, the Cagayan de Oro flight just next to us is actually very full, so there will be volunteer passengers that will be checking in one piece of luggage free of charge. And it's of course a great place to make friends here, Terminal 2 or the Centennial Terminal. And just to kill the boredom and help you with history, here is our favorite companion, the 75th anniversary coffee table with the Philippine Airlines. And of course, we have here our logbook. This will be where we will record our details, courtesy of the flight crew or air crew. And to tell people that we're filming, this is our sign. And they will know that we are doing a lot of work down here nowadays. So let's see.
Since it's not yet boarding for Roxas, more Cagayan de Oro passengers came to board their plane. Even though I was filming, I did my best to help the agents and passengers since I was often mistaken for a PAL employee. With the last passengers of Cagayan de Oro boarding the plane, I sat in one of the benches where this American man from Seattle came to ask me info, thanks to that PAL shirt that I wore. His name is Todd, and his Filipino wife is a public school teacher in General Santos City. He asked me if he is at the right gate, which is gate 3, and I told him that he was at the right spot, only that a Cagayan de Oro flight was the first, with his own flight leaving at 7 or 8 a.m. However, I warned him to beware of any gate reassignments, adding that the worst happens at Terminal 3. We spoke on many topics like the history of Centennial Terminal, terminal reassignments, how PAL's direct Seattle flight never happened because of COVID-19, my aviation series, and more. In no time, our Roxas flight was called and the talk had to end. We bade goodbye and formed a friendship just as I had to return to gate 2. Boarding was done in an orderly manner, with my aunts going first. I let this Filipino Western family also go first because of the child that they had. And with that, I was cleared for boarding. As usual, we do the ritual. Upon entry, the PAL cabin crew gave us their warm smiles and welcome as part of the airline's Filipino hospitality. Here, I would give my logbook to the purser for the captain to fill up, also giving information on my aviation series.
So much for wearing our parang to promote it, so para sa flight log details po, and if si captain, he can sign po and he can return to me once we land in Roxas po.
Now we make our way to our assigned seat. Again, my aunts are 5 rows front from me. Our cabin attendants welcome us, and one of them, Ma'am or Ate Joanne, made an offer for me.
Ano po, ma'am?
Sir, in case po, wala po nakauwi,
Sure po. I'm ready to do it. I'm a first aider po.
If you watched my 2018 flight report from Manila to Roxas, I stated that I work as an assistant medic with the Philippine Red Cross during the Capiz Private Schools Association (CAPRISA) during their sporting events. And being a medic or first aider or even a medical professional is a good plus for a passenger who sits in an emergency exit row. Now here's my seat, 51 kilo. With the luggage stowed and having buckled up, let me give you a tour. Seat pitch is about 29 to 30 inches of legroom. You will only find a safety card and air sickness bag in the seat pocket. As I stated before, PAL had done away with the print editions of Mabuhay since the pandemic to control the spread of coronavirus. Not to mention that this A320 is the exact same plane that I used from Manila to Roxas on October 28, 2022. A vlog for that is available on my channel. To give you a sense of history, this plane, Roger Papa Charlie 8610, once was 2 class, having 12 Mabuhay business class seats and 144 Fiesta economy seats. It was later reconfigured to be an all-economy plane having 180 seats in 2022 when PAL transferred it to its regional division, PAL Express. More passengers came, and when the last one was accounted for, the doors closed and a safety demo was given. Just before pushback, Ate Joanne offered to move me to the exit row seat, which I accepted. She gave me an orientation on emergency exit operations, and I surprised her with my knowledge on them and how to redirect passengers should it be unsafe.
So we just got lucky again and we got upgraded to a more wide leg room, and this is an exit row seat and they're just dimming the lights for safety. And we're pushing back already, and that's it. So I'll brief you later on the emergency exits on how it's done.
In no time, we pushed back from the gate and taxied towards our assigned runway, catching glimpses of a parked Q400. The Centennial Terminal occupied by PAL and AirAsia as of the moment, and the historic Ninoy Aquino Terminal. As Nichols is on the border of Pasay and Parañaque, our assigned runway 06 is under the jurisdiction of the latter city. With clearance given, it is time for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Full speed ahead, Captain.
The exit row seats have tray tables hidden in the armrests and not in front of you. They have no recline except for the back one. PAL flights that are 50 minutes or less, such as Roxas, usually have a quick refreshment and snack service of only packed food and water. Today's offering are some chocolate chip cookies. Now let me orient you on our emergency exit procedure.
The first things first is that you have to check the view on the window to see if the coast is clear or if everything is clear of debris or fire. You have to read the safety card, and it says here that you must check. And there should be nothing like this. So if it is clear, what you'll do is that you'll have to remove the cover here, and then it will reveal the latch or the knob. You pull it inside the latch and grab onto the handle, pull the door inwards, then you dump it out of the aircraft. Opening either the overwing exits, this one or the one behind me, automatically inflates the evacuation slides. But should the slide fail to deploy, there is a red tab over here that you just give a yank. And that tab will trigger the inflation of the evacuation slides. Now, if the exit is found to be unsafe, direct the passengers to other exits. This is an example. Bad exit, move to the next exit. Bad exit, move to the next exit.
Even though water is offered on this flight, you can even request hot water if you brought your own coffee. As I was waiting for my morning coffee, I killed the time with this perfect companion. As I stated earlier, PAL, as of the moment, offers no print editions of Mabuhay magazine because of the pandemic, but only time will tell when they will return.
Oh, thank you po. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You want to have it po para you have something to... You have it po. Always feeling VIP here in PAL. You never go wrong with it.
Now this is one of the elements of PAL's Buong Pusong Alaga. I just love it. I never went wrong with other airlines I traveled on, and I find them cool and worth flying again in whatever class I choose. Like Etihad for example, I tried both economy and business class too. But for Philippine carriers, PAL is something I never got wrong with, and this service you see makes it worth returning to. It seems that PAL lives up to the same level as Kabayan Hotel, the nation's hotel chain whose target market are the overseas Filipino workers and local travelers. I tried that hotel back in 2009 and 2010, and both institutions uphold the slogan, Lagang binabalikan, mahirap iwanan, or in English, place and something worth returning to and hard to leave behind. No offense to other Philippine-based airlines, I'm not biased but I'd like to try and travel with you too in my next videos and future travels. I just don't want some bad treatment because I treat you and your people properly, and I do my best to promote and market you and your services. Unlike the 2022 vlog, you can see that PAL is serving drinks through disposable cups rather than water bottles, which was a norm during the pandemic when travel restrictions were eased. Now, with the in-flight service finished, cups are collected, and I folded my tray table back. The seatbelt lights and exit signs are illuminated again, and it was time to buckle up for a landing in Roxas. Disembarkation was done in an orderly manner, with 5 rows called at a time to allow efficient deplaning. Both the front and back doors were utilized, and I also had to direct and help passengers leave the plane too. I took my luggage and did the final segments too with the crew.
Thank you to this crew, and it was always great for you to treat me as VIP, and of course expect more from me, and of course you will guys improve on and on.
Yes.
So that's it po. This
Thank
is
you
Ma'am
so
Juan
much.
and this is Ma'am
Donna po.
Donna.
Yes.
Sige.
Thank you.
See ya! So it's great po, and si Sir is one of those nicest people. Si Sir, ano to?
DJ na lang, sir.
DJ.
Opo.
And si Ma'am also cared for me. Other si Ma'am. Tsaka it's good, of course, that you guys are really one of the most helpful, and of course, buong puso alaga. Always a pleasure flying with Pal, and of course, we'll just see you again in our next flight.
Absolutely, sir. No problem.
Okay.
As a special appreciation for promoting the airline, Pursu gave me a treat, which was some vanilla cupcake. With the logbook back into my hands, I met up with some airport friends and MacroAsia Roxas station people as I left the plane to go home, saluting it as I reached the terminal's porch. Roxas Airport is a bungalow terminal. In the baggage claim where porters helped me even though I never had checked baggage, I accepted their offer and led them to our car. This day was another good proof that the aviation sector is a place where you can make new friends in the plane and airport, and a place worth working in. With that, we end our journey and this flight report. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to this channel, please click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get more updates on the Flight Report 101 series and other contents that I make. And by the way, if you want to support me, I have my Patreon, PayPal, and Buy Me a Coffee accounts in the links in the description. Go visit them, show me some love, and here's my Gcash if you wish to donate to me too. I look forward to our next video.